Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Michael. I'm one of the co-founders of Wicked Publishing, and I'm joined by creator Scott Quiche today. Welcome.
Good to be here. Exciting after that successful Indiegogo campaign.
Yes,
We've got a comic on our
congratulations.
hands.
Toast to you, my friend.
Thank you.
It must,
Yeah,
go ahead.
I was gonna say it's definitely a team effort. Like
Nice.
with things like this, it's everyone who pitches in, everyone that gets the word out. They all make it possible. So just big thank you to everyone that has either backed, retweeted, shared with a friend. Anything of that nature to help us, get more exposure.
Yeah, no, I mean that's amazing. It's cool to see all the people who came together to support Wrath and help make it possible.
Yeah, it's
Um,
definitely encouraging, and it keeps you going when you're when you're getting to some of the tough spots on your campaign.
right. How much percentage did you make it?
There were a couple more donations or backers last night. It switched to InDemand at midnight, so we're currently at 101%.
Nice, man. That's made it just under the wire, but that's what counts, right, man?
Yeah, I mean we had it on Saturday, but it was
Oh,
just
did
kind
you?
of
Oh,
quiet.
good.
Yeah, we had it done on Saturday. And then it
Nice,
just kind of
man.
sat, and then we had a couple other people jump on last night. So um, we did cut. I don't know if you've seen the Indiegogo, but as I've been tweeting, all the high tier perks and the variant cover are no longer on there. It's just digital and standard issue only at this point.
Right, so those who missed out, unfortunately, are gonna have to get the regular covers, is that right?
Yeah. It was a special thing for the people that were there in the moment that made it happen. That was
Nice.
the idea behind the variant. So in spirit of that, I set an alarm, got up at midnight, and made sure that it was all kosher.
Nice,
Apparently,
man.
I'm so used to getting woken up by dogs in the middle of the night. It's like a superpower. So it's not that big of a deal for me to do.
Are you able to get back to sleep pretty quick?
Yeah, it's usually pretty quick.
Nice. Well, that's cool, man. Congratulations again. I'm super excited to see this issue come out and to see what you do in the future as well. I know we have some exciting things to go through tonight, some our contest entries and some other things like that. So,
Yeah. We had that original art piece by Emilio that he gave to me about a week or so ago, or at least showed it to me. He's in physical possession of it, so the winner is going to have that shipped to them directly from Emilio.
wow, that's pretty awesome. So that's original art they're getting.
Yeah, I sent you the photo if you wanted to show that
Sure, yeah.
off.
Let me pull that up.
Now I'll go over some transparencies on how I went about getting, because I've already picked the winner, and I've already touched base with them to make sure that that's something they wanted, and that way I didn't have to redo the whole process again, like live or anything like that. So what I did is I went through, counted up all the people who qualified, which was anyone who backed or donated. Sorry, Neostar Productions. Thanks for stopping by, man. Sorry, I was just responding to him in chat.
Oh, no worries.
So I counted how many people qualified. I had to exclude some people like you, since you're the publisher, and some immediate family that had backed the project. Once I got the countdown, I just put it into a random number generator and counted up from first backer, which was Jeremy Lott, up into the number that I got. So that actually ended up being Claylex, as he likes to go on Twitter. So he's our lucky winner. So congratulations to him. Um, I'll be getting info from him once we get funding, and we'll get that shipped up to him from Argentina.
So I'm having some issues here with the screen share. Unfortunately, it thinks I'm on a mobile for some reason.
That's weird.
Are you able to screen share by any chance?
I am on a mobile, so.
Well, if you don't mind, I'm gonna try and refresh this real quick.
Sure. Oh, thanks, Salem. Thanks for stopping by.
I just want to see if I can. Yep, it's working now. Sometimes you just got to refresh it to get it to work. Are you still with us, Scott?
Looks like he's back now.
Are you with us, Scott?
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right, cool. So here we see the image that you were speaking of, I believe.
Yeah, that's the one. So that's the original artwork. So there's also a colored version that he sent me too, which is going to be our stretch goal. We're going to add that as a print to all the physical backers once we hit 2K.
Nice. So that's kind of like the first stretch goal, you might say.
Yeah, that's the first stretch goal.
Nice.
So yeah, that'll extend through InDemand, which we'll keep open until after we get proofs and are ready to print.
No, that's cool, man. And there's a colorized version of that as well, isn't there?
Yeah, that's what I was just referring to. That's what we're going to use for the print.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, so that would be the stretch goal print is the colored version, but this is actual physical piece of art that we'll be sending to Claylex.
That's a pretty nice deal, man. So Claylex, congratulations on that, man. That's a nice win there.
Yeah, he was really stoked about it. It was kind of funny too when he sent this to me. I'm like, I kind of want to keep this.
Oh man, that's hilarious. I know, right? It's hard to pass it up, right?
Yeah, it is. But you know, like I've got so many other things that I'll get to keep from this whole thing. So it was cool that I was able to give that away to someone who really backed the project and he supported both campaigns and has been you know a vigorous retweeter of both campaigns. So it's nice to see it go to someone who really put in some work.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And I think he really nailed the feel of the characters in this image here. It's one
Yeah,
of the
he
most
did.
visceral.
The colored when I showed the color version in the Wicked chat, Jeremy's like, "It better hit 2K. I want it."
Oh, that's funny, man. And did he do the colors on it as well then?
Yep, he did.
Wow.
He just kind of surprised me out of the blue. Said, "Hey, you know, we're getting close. Here's this to give away, and then here's this for you to publish." And he gave me this and the colored version. He said, "All I have to do is just get it shipped from where he's at." So
Nice, yeah. And have you mentioned where he's resides in?
he is from Argentina, so he will be
Okay.
getting this sent to him direct from Argentina.
Wow,
I'm
it's coming a long
trying to
way, man.
remember. Yeah, it is. But I think it's going to be worth it. I believe he said it is an 8-inch by 13-inch.
Huh.
Yeah, 13-inch wide, 18. Oh no, 13 wide, 18 high.
Nice, man. Very cool. Yeah, and that's kind of a good place to start. You know, the evening in a little bit we'll probably be taking a look at some of the entries for the Wicked. I'm sorry, the Wrath Art Contest,
Oh yeah,
and
absolutely.
and this is good thing to base it on. You know, because I think this really set the tone for all the other ones. It seemed like a lot of people kind of wanted to really play off of your idea with having the character, you know, with not just having the creature but also the character.
Yeah, and that was really cool too. I really liked how it turned out. I mean, I would have liked some more entries, but the ones I got were just outstanding.
Right, yeah, it kind of made up for it in a
And
way.
yeah, it did kind of make up for it a way. It also made it a little easier since I didn't have to decide since we had 4 spots.
That's always nice.
so it put a nice little bow on that.
Right, everyone can be a
But it was
winner this
really
time.
cool. It was really cool too to see how many different ideas there were out there, and we had a nice balance between positive and negative too.
Yeah, I know you had the puppy. What was it? The puppy attack.
The
And
puppy
then
swarm of
the puppy
happiness.
swarm. Yeah, and then what was the other positive emotion that was on that?
That was the monk with his tranquility.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good one, man.
yeah, let's go ahead and start. You know, since
Sure.
we're talking about, let's go ahead and start showing them all.
Which would you like to
Showing them off
see
here.
first?
Let's start with the monk. That was the first submission. And I'm gonna have to look up that name again, and I'm probably gonna butcher it. But yeah, that is a monk through meditation expressing his tranquility. It's a really cool piece. It's got a lot of calm, reflective feel to it. I really like it. And I'm not going to spoil too much, but it does kind of have a few ties into what I'm doing with chapter 2. I'm not going to hint any more on that because then I'll get into spoilers. But there is a nice little meditation link there. And let me see here.
I was gonna see if I could make it bigger on the screen.
Oh yeah.
How does that look?
I think there you go.
That looks a bit good. Yeah.
So that is actually Ilja Draws. That's his Twitter handle.
Nice. He did a great job.
Yeah, he did. I think he's friends with Ori, the guy who did our Wicked magazine cover.
Yeah.
I think that's how he found out about it.
Yeah, I think so. That's a dove, right?
Yep.
And I think that's a great metaphor and kind of a great theme for that emotion that they were trying to bring across.
Yeah, well, yeah, with the peace and tranquility, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it turned out really nice. And the is it all digital?
That I'm not too sure on. He didn't really give me details on that. Usually they were.
Sorry, go ahead.
They usually just gave me some details on what it was representing.
It's interesting because if it is digital, it has a really hand created quality. You know, it has an interesting aesthetic, which is really cool.
Yeah, it does, and I really liked it. I was thrilled to get it, and now it's going to be part of the first chapter of Wrath.
Nice. Now let's move on to the next entry.
That would be Rosalind Summers' puppy swarm that we were just talking about.
That one's always pretty funny to see a puppy swarm.
Yeah, she did a great job.
Right? Yeah, I think it captures the emotion really well.
Yeah, of happiness. Though that poor guy isn't too happy about his allergies.
Yeah, poor guy. Too bad they're not hypoallergenic. Yeah. But it's funny. I just noticed a detail I didn't notice before. But it looks almost like the puppies are flowing from her hair almost.
Yeah, that's kind of the idea. Is they are manifesting from her hair, which I thought was a pretty cool effect.
Yeah, that's awesome.
There was some joke. Someone commented, "I didn't know your hair was that long," and she's like, "Anime hair."
Right, that makes sense. Nice. Puppy swarm.
But yeah, she's also the artist on a upcoming project that you guys showcased, Ruin.
Nice, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so she's a very, very skilled and accomplished artist, and if you have a chance, take a look at what some of the stuff she's done for that so far, because it's really good.
Nice, man. That's pretty awesome. And yeah, I think she nailed this one. I think the art just is so much fun.
Yeah, she definitely had some fun with it, and I was happy to get it.
And those two comprise the lighter side of the entries.
Yes, those are the positive emotions that we got.
Then we start getting into the more of the little bit of the darker stuff here. This is the first one of the bunch. Now, what can you tell us about this one?
So this is Casper Brenchy. I also forgot. Rosalind and Casper, when we were looking for a page artist, were possible candidates. So this is Casper Brenchy, and he is expressing his hatred of crowded, noisy spaces, which I think he did great with the rattlesnake, kind of like the back off, don't tread on me look. And his rattlesnake just came out fantastic. Like you can see that it's kind of um, like a spiritual, almost like ethereal snake, not like a solid one.
Mm.
And it definitely looks menacing.
Yeah, it gives off
And
like
he
this
also,
interesting aura and stuff.
yeah, and he also has his own comic that he's working on himself called Quarantine Z,
Nice.
which is like a zombie apocalypse comic. It's pretty good. You should definitely check his stuff out.
Very nice, man. Yeah. I love the sinister look to the eyes too.
Oh yeah, that little flash in the eyes.
Mm-hmm. That's a nice touch. And even the character looks cool. Like he kind of has his hat pulled down. He's a bit mysterious.
Yeah, and the other thing I wanted to point out too is like how much detail and like menace he brings to the snake without like a whole lot, going on artistically.
Mm-hmm. He uses a lot of minimal stuff to convey a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And then we have our final entry, unless you conclude mine, which is this one here, Leviathan.
yeah. This was actually a friend of mine and a good friend of Salem LeBlanc's, goes by Omenomicron.
Hmm.
Um, she's not only an accomplished artist but also a heck of a DM too. I've played
Nice.
in one of her games. She's really cool. But yeah, this is her character's peevishness that has manifested in this monstrosity here. There were some great comments because if you read the caption, it talks about how he's misunderstood and he's quite friendly. And someone was commenting like, "Oh yes, he's perfectly shaped for hugs."
Hmm. Oh, that's funny. Look, it didn't give you so many hugs. But yeah, no, I mean it looks amazing. The art is incredible there. And I loved all the details on like the tentacles and like the just the serpent like tail. Everything is done well done.
Yeah, and this is what I liked about the contest is that I really just kind of gave them a blank slate and let them go as crazy as they wanted with it.
Yeah, and all the entries have been so different.
Yeah, and then that was the other thing that I was impressed with and happy to see as well is, like it's the Rage Puppy, but like everyone took it in a different direction, which is kind of what I
Mm,
was hoping for.
nice, man. And all four will be in the back of the book.
Yep, all four made it into the back of the book, so
Nice.
I am looking forward to having that as part of the whole package when we're ready to go.
Nice. Maybe we'll see some of these characters pop up in the story. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Like issue 10. Oh my god. It was canon all along. But no, I mean that's awesome, man. I'm really excited to see that you got some really cool entries back.
Yeah, I was very happy, and that also helped not only promote them as artists, but also helped promote Wrath as well. And I think that got not only them some attention, but also the Indiegogo. So a big thank you to all of them for taking the time to draw that and submit it.
And if you haven't backed the book, it's now in demand, so you can still go get it and pick up a copy for yourself. Oops. It's got a couple different tiers. In fact, we could actually start going over some of the tiers if you'd like.
Well, there's only two left now. We were just
Oh
talking
man,
about that.
well, that's actually a great point. Then we should definitely go over what you can still get at this point. I think for people who maybe haven't backed it yet or were waiting for payday or something like that, you still have a chance to get it. So
Yep,
we'll look at that.
that's one of the great things about the InDemand is that you can still offer some functionality and some availability before you send off to the printer. Especially
Yeah,
since I've got I've got some time as I work with Drew and Emilio to finish up the project.
Right, and it does seem like Indiegogo does have in particular some nice features like that.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of bummed that I started with Kickstarter, just because of how much more flexibility and tools I had at my disposal.
Yeah, well,
And
that's
not to
true. Yeah.
mention, my backers get charged once they pledge, and then they don't have to worry about keeping those funds in their account like you do with Kickstarter.
That's true, but the positive thing now is that, and now you know which you prefer. You had to get the hands-on experience yourself, and you found which works for you best. So I think that's a positive thing to know.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, definitely. I know
mhm.
what I like and how to use it, and just graphically, it's better too because you can
Mhm.
actually get pictures tied to each of your tiers in the Indiegogo, and you don't get that on Kickstarter.
That is an interesting feature. I would have thought Kickstarter would have had more flexibility with that. So you're
And
currently
not
at. Go ahead.
uh, and not that I needed it this time, but I also had the option to extend the campaign if I needed to.
Right. That is another nice option as well that I don't think Kickstarter has. So you're currently at $1,632 with 33 backers, and we're now in demand. So do you have an idea of how long you're going to keep the store in demand for?
It's probably going to be at least 2 months, because I think our schedule for the 28 pages with Emilio is going to be 10 weeks, and it's going to take a week or two for us to get funding from Indiegogo.
Okay. Nice. Well, that gives people plenty of time to get on board who haven't gone on board. And I know we have an ad coming out for Wrath, I believe, next month at an alternate comics. So hopefully that can
Really,
get some new eyes on it too.
which issue was it?
I believe he said it came out on a Wednesday.
Oh, okay, that's a cool
Hmm.
one.
Yeah, I believe that's an anthology series. Um, but yeah, we were we were lucky that Peter's great. He always is really great when working with us, and he was able to get it in under the wire just in time. So we were really lucky that he was allowed us to do that.
And
But
thanks
yeah,
for doing that, by the way.
you're welcome. Yeah, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it in print. I still haven't got any of the ads we've done in print before.
Yeah, it's really hard for us to get Alterna out here. I
Mm.
did find a few at Barnes and Noble,
Oh wow, that's
but
cool.
that seems like the only place that has them out here.
Yeah, I was surprised. I think I might talk to some of my local comic shops to see if they are interested in carrying alternate because I'm kind of surprised we don't see more of them carrying it.
I already tried flying colors, so
Really? Oh damn,
they
that's
don't.
the first thing I was thinking, man.
You can order it from them, but they don't carry it.
Flying Colors is a tough one. I think that they're a very small shop, so they can't necessarily take in a lot of other kind of products. You know what I mean? They don't
Yeah,
necessarily do a lot of indie stuff, which is too bad to see. But yeah, I mean, definitely getting this out to conventions is gonna be cool once the backers are fulfilled.
yeah, I'm looking forward to that. We'll see about what the convention tour looks like next year.
Hmm. Now, we're starting with one of our, I believe you said two tiers that are available. We start off with a digital copy tier at $5. You get a PDF copy of the book.
Yep, and that'll probably be delivered a little bit earlier than the print because we'll have that ready to go before
Hmm.
we even get the proofs.
That makes sense.
Um, I,
Yeah.
I believe that's how Wicked has been kind of distributing with the Mythoverse and Jack Irons.
We were kind of leaving it up to the per creator, but it does seem like most of the creators under Wicked are following that model. So and it makes sense, people, if you buy the digital, of course you kind of expect it to be a little bit quicker than the physical version.
Yeah, that and you're also getting something into the backers' hands as soon as possible, which is
Exactly.
one of my big goals, is to try and get this not only the quality down, but also quickly to the kind people that have backed the project.
And then we have our other chair, which is a standard copy, and that comes with the floppy version, the physical print edition.
Right, with the standard cover there, which is both covers were by Drew Smith, but that's what we're going with, the standard cover with the image of the kind of the rage puppy following Doug as he rides through the woods.
Yeah, man, that's an awesome cover too. I really like
Now
that
that's
one.
not canon to what happens in the book, but it's a very cool image that kind of shows that as much as he pushes forward, his past is always following him, and it's
Right
got that
behind him.
nice cone of shadow behind him and the cone of light ahead of him, which is a theme I like to play with artistically throughout the series.
That's cool, man. I love that theme too because it reminds me of this song by Mike Shinoda. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He was in the band Linkin Park, and he has like rap songs and stuff. But he has like a line in one of his songs that it's like running from my shadow, but it's still there chasing me down. And I feel like this is
Which,
such a perfect that's like that image right there. Like
which
that's the
song is
perfect
that one?
embodiment. It's called "Running from My Shadows," I think. Um, I believe that's the name of it. But it
Okay.
totally reminds me of that image right there. He's on his bike, he's trying to get away, but it's still right there behind him.
Well, that's the thing. The great thing is he doesn't even know it's there.
Oh man. Oh, that's wild. That's a cool, man. I think that kind of light versus dark, thematical element is really interesting to see displayed there.
Yeah,
And
and it's we did kind of a light dark split on the variant that kind of cuts diagonally through the image on that one too.
nice,
One of
nice.
the things we wanted to show was kind of past and present, because as you read the story, you're kind of getting glimpses of his traumatic past as well as like current trauma with the thugs that he runs into, and that's what kind of brings this ability to the surface.
Something that he long forgotten from his past.
It's not that he'd forgotten it. He's always been carrying that anger and resentment towards his father, but it is something that he doesn't like to talk about, and it's something he likes to push down.
And maybe as we'll see in the comic, that kind of repression might lead to what happens in the story.
Yeah, it's definitely like the fuel source, and then the incident on his way home is kind of the catalyst.
Icing on the cake, so to speak. What is a better one would be the what is it, the needle that broke the camel's back, or what you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that final push.
yeah, that just sent him over the edge. Shit,
But like there
ripping
in
up a
that
book,
panel right
man,
there,
not cool.
you can kind of see like how his friend Nicole, his best friend Nicole, casually brings up how his father and how he might end up like him, and you can kind of see that
Whoa.
repressed anger showing itself with the page rip there.
Right, it looks like he didn't even really mean to necessarily tear it. He just was so angry in the
Yeah.
moment. Wow, that's cool, man. I think that's a nice visual way to show that. Do you guys try to do a lot of the visual stuff like that in the book?
Um, there are some visual cues and clues. There's also some Easter eggs that we put in there. There are some images that are meant to be foreshadowing.
This is
So
one
you
of
can
my
see
favorite
that
pages here.
one there when he's getting on his bike.
Right here.
Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the YouTube stream.
Oh, no worries.
Hey, someone. The you like the flashback one?
Yeah, I
Is
just
that
I just love that page so much.
Yeah, that one turned out really well. And there's some foreshadowing there. I don't know if you see the little toy that's in the forefront there.
Let's see. The little puppy dog.
Yeah.
Maybe a little rage puppy. That's fun. Yeah, it's interesting because the wolf, and then you have a few other items, but it's like very center of the image, shrouded in that light.
Yeah, and it's kind of I don't want to go too much into to how that all worked out yet, but it is, there are some origins to that particular toy and the rage puppy.
Hmm. Right, because I mean, we see there's other toys in his room, but this one in particular is the one that has the most significance here.
Yeah, and we've tried to put it up in the forefront, hoping that readers will pick up on, like, hey, that looks kind of familiar.
Hmm.
Um, and then he originally Emilio drew the father just in there, which I didn't really have written into the script, and so I kind of described that I just kind of wanted a shadow, because while Doug isn't really afraid of his dad now, he's more afraid of the memory of his dad, if that makes sense. So
Hmm.
when we kind of shadowed him, it makes him a little bit more menacing than he would be in real life.
Right. It kind of embodies just the emotions of how he felt about him at that time, and not him as a person, not the details of him.
Right. It's kind of like when you see that shadow in the dark and it looks like a monster, and then you flip on the light, and then it's something completely different.
True. Yeah.
Kind of thing. So his memories are forever kind of cast in that shadow. So he's just terrified of the way his father appears in those memories.
Hmm. And that
I
led
don't
to his
really
childhood
go.
trauma. That was
Yeah,
that was
there are going to be more panels to show more of what happens. I don't really go into too much visual detail, just enough that you get the idea of what happened.
Mm-hmm. Now these are some nice panels as well. I really like some of the angles in the art here that are on display. Like the way the bicycle, the middle panel, how it's a flat plane, but we're seeing it from an angle, or how the
Yeah,
figures in the bottom left distort and
uh,
come into perspective.
I really love that because the way I wrote it is that he kind of sees these shadows up ahead, and then he starts to break slide, and then you see the two thugs there.
And they're like looming over him.
Yeah, he
That's
just
awesome.
really captures what I'm trying to convey, um, and he's definitely knows what he's doing. As you're pointing out, like he's got such a great method of just making the panels flow, hopefully as well as the story did on the script.
Yeah, that's so true, and the design layout is really well executed. There's a really strong sense of design and kind of style to it.
Yeah, it's a really kind of a team effort there, and I've got such a fantastic artistic team behind this. Drew is the concept cover artist, but she's also helping me storyboard this
Nice.
for Emilio. He just kind of gives us a rough estimate on how many panels he likes per page, and then Drew kind of works out how that would flow well page to page, so that we can basically say, hey, Emilio, we want these panels on there, and then of course it's all the story and dialogue that I put together. So it's really, like I said, just a team effort that has really, I feel, come together well in these pages, and that's what we're going to get right back to as soon as we get the funding from Indiegogo.
Right, and I think you may have mentioned it earlier, but you said how soon did you expect to be getting some of those funds back?
I believe it takes them about 2 weeks in general
Okay.
to get those.
And is that after you go leave InDemand, or is that how does that work exactly?
So basically, it's as soon as the campaign closes successfully, you can't go into InDemand unless you hit funding.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big key. Um, but as soon as it closes, then they start getting the funds together. They hold some back for refunds, and I I forget what the term is. Um, then they take their percentage, and then the rest gets sent out to me, um, and then I start paying the artists.
Very nice, man. Well, that's exciting. So it sounds like it work, even though it's in demand, work will be able to get started on, and things will be progressing.
That is the idea. I've heard sometimes there can be delays. I'm fingers crossed that doesn't happen to us, and we just get right into to getting Emilio ready. So I have to go through and do some final touches on the script. Then hopefully I'll connect with Drew, and we'll start getting the script ready for Emilio, so he can just start jumping into it and knocking like 3 or 4 pages out a week.
Nice. And then I believe it's the estimated delivery is around February 2020.
That's what we're shooting for, and we'll keep everyone up to date if there's any delays. No one likes delays, but life happens, things happen. So we'll do our best to stay on target.
Stay on target. I can help myself. But now that's awesome, man. That's so cool, and I'm so happy that you got your goal. I'm really excited for you.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean, it's been such a long journey. We tried the Kickstarter, and that was just lessons learned about overreaching and not having enough to show for your work. And yeah, we just built from there. Came back. What was the term? Leaner and meaner. Came back leaner and meaner. Got it done this time. Um,
that's right, man.
and I'm just so happy to see the results come together and to add this title in with the strong stable that's starting to come together for Wicked.
Yeah, man. That's so awesome, isn't it? You're gonna be able to get to see
Yeah,
her sitting side by side with Jack Irons and all the others out there. You know,
yeah, the Mythoverse,
a
Movie
movie man,
Men.
Spork
I've
man,
always
all.
kind of been behind everyone, so yeah, Sporkman. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it'll be good to catch up. I think I was the last one from the initial signing at the end beginning of 2019.
I believe so. Yeah, you were
Um,
one of the last creators we announced, I think. Yeah.
so that's good on Wicked. I mean, we've got all the books funded, and we're getting all the stuff out to people in good quality, and that's part of my focus on this first campaign was to get a book out, get it in people's hand, and start building that trust with my fan base.
Yeah, I'm excited to get that out to people and to start shipping and doing fulfillment next year. It's gonna come quicker than we think, you know. It'll
Oh,
be here
especially
sooner
since
than ever.
I'll be busy reviewing
Seriously.
reviewing all the artwork and just sending them back for corrections, and looking forward to that big moment when we get the print uh, in hand and I can flip through the book. That's going to be a
Nice.
huge moment.
Yeah, that is gonna be big. Nice, man. Well, that's awesome. You know, once you have that, you can start thinking about the next campaign and going forward if you guys want to do that again. But I think you guys can relax for now. You guys have done it at least for a week, right? At least for give yourself at least a week, man.
I gotta clean up the script and make some last
Hmm.
minute adjustments. But that is one thing I wanted to point out to you about the InDemand is
Hmm.
it can get us additional funds, which are all going to go into
Nice.
production for chapter 2. So
Oh, that's
if you
cool.
like Wrath, you like the idea, um, you know, please throw and get your copy and help us get started for chapter 2 because we've got a lot more story we want to tell, and we just want to keep this moving.
Man, I can't wait. I'm so excited because I love the way the first issue already starts, and I'm super excited to see where the story is going because I have a feeling there's a lot more to it than meets the eye, if you might say. That's just the feeling
There's
that I get.
that's a pretty accurate description. You know, like we're tackling some heavy subject matter, and I hope that I convey it in a very thought provoking and emotion stirring way. You know, I really want people to relate and feel to the characters,
Nice.
and to feel the thrill and excitement, and all the page turning qualities that you hope to connect with your readers.
How'd you first come up with the idea for Wrath?
That is a very interesting story. The original like spark was I was having some health issues, and I was diagnosed with sleep apnea. So I was
Oh
going
wow.
on a walk
Mhm.
and kind of thinking about that, and I was kind of coming to the realization that my body was kind of torturing and killing itself while I slept, and I had no knowledge of it other than kind of
Jeez.
like the side effects of that with the fatigue and the migraines and the blood pressure. Um, and then I started thinking, what if my emotions started to get away from me when I was sleeping? You know, like
Hmm.
what would be the first one that would get away from you? And anger was the one that seemed to fit that bill. So then I started playing around with the idea, forging it and fine tuning it till we got Doug and Nicole and Doug's troubled past, based on where I work. You know, I see a lot of victims of abuse and things like that, and thought it was a very relatable subject that not a lot of people really talk about.
Yeah, no, that's an interesting story. I think it's interesting for a number of reasons. One being that it's so personal for you, so the story is personal, which I think that's important. It can be very important when you're writing, a story. But I also think it's interesting because you took the idea of the sleep apnea, which was doing these, harm to your body against doing something against your will and without even your knowledge, and it's doing detriment to you. And you take that idea and you're saying, well, what if it's these emotions can get away from me, and what harm could they do not only to me but to other people as well? It's a really interesting personal theme. I think I think that's what makes it unique is that you've brought in these personal elements. You even mentioned your job as well. But yeah, no, I mean that's interesting. Now,
Oh, sorry, you lost me there for a second. Can you hear me now?
oh yeah, yeah, no worries. What was
Okay.
the last thing you heard from me?
Oh, I could hear all of you, but like when
Oh,
my
okay.
phone goes to sleep, it cuts off my mic. So I was trying to like add to
Speaking
what
of
you were
which,
saying.
your phone was trying to go all rage puppy on you.
Yeah, it started going off on its own.
Yeah.
One of the things too, with the victim thing is how we can't, and I put that on the Indiegogo, and Cody really loves pointing it out because he really likes the idea. Is we can't always control the things that happen to us, um, but we can choose how they can affect us. And sometimes it's harder to do the thing that's most beneficial to you. But a lot of times they end up dragging us down, but we can choose to turn them into strengths.
Hmm. Man, so that's interesting. Yeah, I think a lot of people will be able to relate to that with Wrath. And I
Yeah, and that is what I'm really hoping is, we get that whole idea that there's a lot more of this out there than we think, and people can relate to us a lot more than we thought they could.
hmm, nice. And you also mentioned your work influenced you as well.
Yeah, and I did, like you said, I kind of built the world of Wrath, with kind of pieces of my life and the world around me. Um, so like Doug's mom is a a deputy district attorney, and his stepdad is a local police officer. So he kind of has that strong sense of justice, and also that he was able to recover from his traumatic experience as a youth, partially because his mom got him out of there, but also that he had someone come in and replace his abusive father with a kind, caring, and loving father figure.
Mm-hmm. And you also, we haven't talked about this for a while, but I remember back when we first started talking about it, you also brought up the idea of the lollipop moments.
Yeah, that is something that is going to maybe throw people off at first. There are going to be just little side characters that Doug and Nicole will engage with, and they are leading to something bigger. But it's also to also show just the kinder side that Doug has as well, and how he, even though he carries this with him, he still acts kind and generous and in a positive manner to the people around him, and that's important as well.
Yeah, I think that's another way to say it, as like is paying it forward, or something like that. Where you're just trying to put that good energy out there to help bring it forward, and I think that's kind of the idea of the lollipop moment.
Yeah, without revealing too much, but yeah, the
No
lollipop
spoilers.
moment is about um, like that whole doing something simple and kind to someone can have long lasting effects.
Right. Yeah, and I think that goes along with what you were saying about his kind nature and stuff.
Yeah.
Which is interesting to have him being a kind person, but to also have this rage, hidden inside. I think that's a really interesting dichotomy.
Well, I think everybody has it to some extent.
Oh yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. I mean, it's hard not to. You know.
Yeah, it's
That,
just human nature. We have
hmm
both negative and positive in all of us. It's all about which side we tend to lean towards, and how much control we give to that darker side. And that also goes to that whole artistic thing I'm putting throughout excuse me, throughout the whole series with the light and shadow.
Nice, man. Nice. Well, that's awesome, man. I'm super excited to see this book come to life. It can't come soon enough. February can't come here soon enough, man.
I'm glad to hear it. Like, and one of the things that always pushed me forward was just the general feedback I got from people. The few people who've actually read the full script are usually some of the biggest supporters, who've basically like, yeah, please do this. You're onto something here. So, um, we started off small, and here we are, and it's just awesome to be here and to be able to put this story together.
Yeah, that's so cool, man. And congratulations to your entire team, because you guys had amazing work. So great to
Yeah,
see.
yeah, it's been great. Drew's been there from the beginning. She's been amazing. Put in a lot of hard work, late nights, and then just when we added Emilio, it was just like what we had was good, but he was kind of like that missing element, and I think that we work really well together, and I'm really looking forward to showing everyone what we've got.
Nice, man. Nice. Yeah, it's that's really cool, and hopefully we can get Drew and on here in another stream in the future, and we can talk to her some more about the issue coming out. Um, hey Matt, how's it going?
And
Hey,
there's
how's it
someone I
going,
haven't
guys?
seen for a
Good.
while.
Yeah, a lot of crap's been going on, but
But
trying to be there.
we're here to celebrate Wrath, and so Matt
Mm-hmm.
was gracious enough to take the time
Congratulations.
to come by.
Thank you, and thank you for. I mean, you were one of the big early supporters. You and Michael. I
Nice.
always like to point out that I think it was you that came up with the Rage Puppy in color and everything else grayscale. when I was on the fence about doing color or grayscale.
Yeah, I think I'm the one who did bring up that idea for you. But
Yeah,
hey, I mean, it looks really good from how it is now.
yeah, it's interesting
Yeah.
to see how it's transformed from the original early design that Matt did to how it is today.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
to Drew's and then to what Amelia did with it.
It's gone
The
over multiple artists' hands.
the funny thing is when I was looking for the page artist, I had some great Doug and Nicole's, but it
Hmm.
seems like the Rage Puppy, what we affectionately call it, was the one that everyone seemed to have trouble with.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
Like even Emilio's design, I was like, not quite what I want, but it's close enough. We'll work on it. And that's what we. I don't know if you remember the image, the original promo art he had, where it kind of looked like a tiger.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the hands, were the human hands in the original, or when did those enter into the element? Into the
So
element.
if you look at Drew's, that's the one I have now. Because Matt did like the very first original one, and we kind of had like some very like bestial claw hands.
You mind
But
if
if
I share that one real quick?
yeah, I mean, if Matt doesn't mind,
I don't
if you
mind.
still have it.
Yeah, I have it up here. But what were we gonna say? Sorry, I think I interrupted you.
So Drew was the one that kind of picked up on the tones that it was like a hybrid. Like with it's a wolf-like creature, a hound-like creature, but it has some human um, aspects to it. And that was based on the what I had in the script about how it manipulated objects and stuff. So if you look at this one in my portrait here, you'll notice that its hands are a little bit more human-like.
Oh,
Oh, there you
interesting.
go.
Yeah.
So that's actually Drew's influence on the project.
Yes.
Interesting. That's interesting to see how it changed from a more animalistic in Matt's version to the more humanistic hands in the final version.
And then Amelia took it a little bit further and made him even a little bit more human-like.
Really.
Yeah, and a lot of people really like what he did, where he kind of made the scar work a little heavier, and gave it a little bit more bite, I would say.
That's interesting. Yeah. Which version like was the one that made you when you saw was like, oh, okay, this is the design for the Rage Puppy? Was it Drew's? Would you say?
Yeah, Drew's is the one that I think really brought us where we wanted to go with it.
Nice.
And then we just kind of expanded on what she did with Emilio and his style.
Nice, man. Yeah, I love the design. It's such a fun, cool design. And the
And
blue with
she,
the white, it looks like electricity going through almost, you know?
yeah, but it also looks kind of like scar work too, which is what I really
Mm.
liked, because
Ah,
it's born
interesting.
from trauma,
I never even thought
and we
about that,
kind
man.
of
That's awesome.
went heavier on that with Emilio's design. But
Hmm.
Drew's such a fantastic concept artist, because she just kind of reads between the line and kind of instinctually picks up on what I'm looking for. So I was thrilled to keep her on the project, even in just that capacity.
Yeah, that's nice that she was able to continue doing that.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
She
I
also
can
had a
see it where you're the writer, she's the artist in a sense, so she could really help direct that art direction on how everything goes.
she also
Definitely, and
sorry, go ahead.
yeah, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was going to say sharing the screen again. I also really thought she did a very nice job on the Nicole and Doug duo.
Yeah, she did. I mean, like everything that she did, like just hit it so spot on for me, and just reaffirmed, what I kind of picked up from when I looked through her art, that I was picking the right person for the project.
Nice.
And then Emilio just really does a fantastic job of taking this and then like giving it that mood and twist into what fits well with the story and that grayscale effect.
Right. Yeah. The difference from the change from this image to the one we're about to see where Emilio works on it. I think it's interesting to see how he interprets these two characters. It's very much the same characters, but in his style.
Yeah, it really seems like it, and it's a really nice transition to them as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's what I really liked is this was the demo piece. We put the new Rage Puppy in there, but that's what he gave me, and that's why I picked him. Is that he just really kind of captured it in a way that I felt really fit the artistic needs of the story. And you know, like he did great with Drew's art too, which, you know, that's I think a big part of our process is that because he actually only speaks Spanish, so it's really great that I can Drew picks up on what I'm trying to do, draws it, and then he can take it and run with it.
Yeah, no, that is nice. Yeah, that's kind of how me and Matt work in a way, you know. Minus the middleman, of course, but because Matt doesn't speak Spanish, but but no, I totally get where you're coming from with that. You know, that is really nice to be able to do that. It really shows you how even though Drew's transitioned to a new position on the team, she's still very invaluable to that team.
Especially because coming up into the second one, we're not going to see the Rage Puppy for a while,
Wow.
and you're going to actually see what the creature looks like when Doug has complete control over it, because this is kind of like a sneak off on its own while he's, you know, like subconscious while he's sleeping. Type deal. So the form is going to be a little bit more humanistic, because it's got to fit with the way Doug's used to manipulating you know, like if you basically went into like a dog's body, you'd be like flopping and falling all over yourself. So his mind's, you know, your mind's kind of what is it, naturally lazy, so it's going to pick a form that you're used to using. So Drew's already got some ideas on what that's going to look like. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see what we do coming up here.
Can you tease what issue we get to see that in?
That'll be issue 2.
Nice.
Issue 2, I'll give you a little bit of a taste. This one's the origin of the power. The second issue is going to focus more on learning to control the power, learning to see what its strengths and limitations are, as well as also getting more of the friendship and the dynamics between Doug and Nicole.
Nice, man. That's cool. That's going to be a really exciting second issue, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I really...
It'll be a little bit more lighthearted, I think, than the first one.
Oh, good. Nice. A little more slice of life, maybe, kind of?
Yeah, that's where we're going to get into a little bit more of that. And then we'll get right back into the darker stuff.
Nice. That's cool, man. It's gonna be interesting. I love how you have this balance there. You know, yeah, it kind of makes it's interesting. It makes me think of how you have this theme going throughout the covers and throughout your comic of the light and the dark, where you want to try and balance some of the light with the dark elements. That's interesting, man. Now, I had a question for you. I've been thinking about if you could, what advice would you give to yourself when you were first starting out on this whole campaign trail, even back before the first one?
Keep it simple. And you know, listen. You know, don't be afraid to jump in like you did. And you know, keep listening to the people around you and your artist, and things will work out.
Nice, man. That's good advice. It sounds like there's a train coming through, Matt. Is that on your end?
Yeah, that's on my side.
Sounds like freaking.
There's no train near me.
I was gonna say,
Unless I should be
it sounds to
real
me.
concerned.
I've been watching the Purge movies, and it sounds like the sound that they do at the end of the Purge. Brrr, brrr.
Oh, the siren.
Yeah, yeah. I've never seen him before, so I'm binge watching him all right now. but I think Wrath is perfect time for Halloween. I think now's a great time if you haven't backed it to get into the book and to check out what it's all about.
Yeah, it would have been great if we could have released it around now, but that was probably more along the lines with the Kickstarter campaign.
Hmm.
But we got it done. We'll get it out there, and then it could be one of your favorite books to pick up next Halloween,
Exactly, and who knows? By next Halloween, we might be on issue 2, or by then,
or
so
maybe 3.
might even be 3 for
Hey,
all
there
we
we
know,
go.
right? Hell yeah! So I'm gonna plug that at the bottom there. So, anything you want to tell your fans out there, people who are backing your book? Anything like
Just
that?
thank you for everything. Could not have been here. Could not have gotten the funding I needed to make this book happen. So, deep, sincere thank you. And I look forward to getting this to you guys as soon as possible and getting into issue 2.
Nice, man. Nice. And anything more you can tease us about upcoming issues? Anything we can look forward to?
3, like I said, 3 is going to be darker, and you're going to find out just how much control Doug may or may not have of his new power.
Wow. Nice, man. Well, let's hope he has more control than not, for his sake, at least. Well, that's awesome, man. Well, I'm super excited. I'm really, I'm really think it's awesome that you guys made it this time. Coming back from a campaign, when you didn't make it is not easy, but you guys didn't give up and you guys kept plugging it, kept pushing it. And I think it really paid off. I think you guys retooled, reworked it, came back with a new team member and some of the same team members, and I think you guys nailed it this time.
Yeah, and it's a combination of things. Oh, sorry. Phone went to sleep on me again.
Oh no, you're all good.
It was a combination of things of looking at what we missed on, picking up that new team member, and just setting something that we knew we could get, and it paid off. And let's hope we can continue to build on that, and then we get this out there, and we can build up on issue 2, and hopefully it'll be an easier slam dunk than this one.
Nice, man. That's awesome. Well, I wish you much luck with the next issue and getting the first issue out. Your job
Definitely.
starts now.
Yeah, the fun part of the job. That's what I always like to point out,
Nice.
because campaigning is rewarding, but it's
Mm.
exhausting.
No, I bet, man. Yeah, I bet it's a huge relief to have that a huge weight off your chest, huh?
Yeah, it has been. It's just a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety. It really wears on your patience. We're just like looking at how much time you have left, how much you have. Like, am I gonna make it this time? But yeah, once you get that, it's just such a thrilling feeling. And I kind of picked an image from Demon Hunter, or sort of Demon Slayer. I don't know if you saw that, where he has that boulder sliced in half, and in the story he just worked so hard to get there. And when I saw that, I'm like, that's how it's going to feel when I get this crowdfunding done. It's going to be a huge accomplishment, but it's also going to be like, this is just the beginning.
And did it feel like that? Do you think? Was it exactly that for you?
Yeah, it definitely was, and that's why I kind of put that as like a celebratory image, kind of marking that, like, I did something, it's an accomplishment, but I've still got a lot more to do.
It had split the boulder. Very nice, man. Yeah, I think that's a cool way to look at it. You put in all that effort, and even though it took a long time and it was harder than you could have ever imagined it, you finally managed to succeed there. So that is cool, man.
And yeah, I know you've been waiting for the dub, so you get to enjoy that because that's so far
Yeah,
it's
I
been a
just started the
fantastic
first
series.
episode. Actually, it was awesome, man. Really, really cool, and they got good voice actors. Johnny Young Bosch plays the demon hunter dude who comes through in episode 1.
I'll
Yeah,
have
I
to
don't.
check it out
Yeah, he's
just to get the
Ichigo guy.
voices.
I always call him just Ichigo guy. He plays the Bleach guy character, main
Oh, that's
character,
I'm a huge Bleach fan, so maybe
right?
I
So
will
you,
have to check
yeah,
that out.
right. But no, I think there's a lot of cool themes behind that one too. So I can see why you like that show and get inspired by it. But yeah, man, Wrath is awesome, man. So please, if you guys are out there, go check it out. We're gonna plug the link one more time here. And where can people follow you online so they can make sure they follow all your stuff you got coming out?
So you can follow me on Twitter. It's at Kishkumen, KYSHKUMEN. That's my Twitter, and then I need to get back on my Instagram, but it's a Wrath graphic novel on Instagram, and that's where we're going to be showing off all of our new stuff once we start getting it out there.
Nice, gonna try and start plugging the Instagram more.
Oh, you want me to plug that one in?
Yeah, no, I'll get it. I just meant
Okay.
you guys are gonna start put it in that more.
Yeah, we'll tease some stuff. Maybe we'll have some of the new pages without dialogue, that kind of thing.
Nice.
Because we have everything we need except just 28 interior pages. We've got both covers done. We've got the interior on the inside, and we've got the additional art we can show off in the back. So we're ready to go. Just got to get those last pages done.
Very nice. Awesome, man. Well, I wish you much luck with that, and please keep updating with us more because we're super excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you for taking time to talk with us too.
Oh, thanks for having me on here, and I'll definitely share as much as I can without spoiling the whole thing for you.
Seriously, you know me. Matt can tell you this. I hate spoilers, so that'd be much appreciated.
But
yeah.
Any of the backers, I'll be sure to get in weekly updates with progress, how much we've got done, and
Excellent.
How we're doing on that front.
That's perfect, man. I'm sure they'll be happy to see as you more and more as you guys come out with the pages. Awesome. Well, thanks again, guys. What's that?
One page per week. Maybe I'll leak one page per week.
Oh man, that's what a tease. Just slowly give it to us. Hey man, I feel it. People, there's nothing more than people like than a new update with a new page, man. There's nothing better, as a comic creator, getting that page back.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But thanks for having me on.
Definitely.
Thanks for talking with
You're
me.
welcome.
And thanks for supporting me and getting me out here this far.
You're welcome, man, and we can't wait to see where you go next with it. And thanks for everyone who watched in the chat and joined in. Go check out them on Indiegogo right now, and we'll see you guys next time. Everyone have a great night.
Have a great one.
Talk to you later.